Should you upgrade your bike to a coil shock? Well, I'm spending the summer in Morzine, so I thought it'd be a good idea to give one a go. Silverfish were kind enough to supply me with a trunnion mount, Fox DHX and SLS springs, so huge shout out to them. And after a lengthy conversation with TF Tuned, I ordered an additional £400 steel spring just in case the 375 wasn't enough, and corresponding mounting hardware for my bike. A big thank you to the guys at TF Tuned for their patience in helping me find the measurements required to find the correct fit. Out with RockShox Super Deluxe, Fox DHX coil in, not forgetting the all-important 50-year anniversary decal, tomato, whatever. Now this isn't an upgrade to make me any quicker, it's purely to improve the ride feel and hopefully preserve my fatiguing body over a season of drops, jumps and PDS braking bumps. A performance upgrade is obviously a bonus, so how does the new shock feel out on the trails? 1 month in to riding on the coil shock, I thought I'd send it down here and hopefully explain the pros and cons. Easier said than done. The one thing that has been a big improvement has been the small bump sensitivity. It definitely deals with rough terrain like that much better than the air shock, especially on a long run when you really start to heat up the shock. Doesn't really happen with the coil. It just maintains that control, balance, performance throughout the length of the run. Some of the runs here can be 5 or 6 minutes long, at least before I decide to hand in the towel. So let's first talk about the negatives that I've experienced in fitting a coil to my bike. The linear nature of the coil means that I've actually experienced quite a few bottom outs on big drops. This has led to my left ankle playing up a bit as I'm now resisting a lot of those big hits through my legs. Since upgrading to the heavier spring, the bike now feels a lot better on those big features. Hopefully the same will apply to my left foot. The added weight of the coil hasn't been a problem for obvious reasons, and it's actually something that I quite like because I'm used to a 20+ kilo e-bike for most of my gravity riding. When compared to the air shock, on flatter trails the coil can feel a bit sluggish and is more effort getting back up to speed out of slower corners. Now let's talk about the positive. That linear nature of the coil gives the bike a real mini DH feel. Not quite bottomless travel, but with the correct size spring, it feels really good in this environment. Riding braking bumps and routes at speed is still a chore, but feels almost bearable. I'm fairly sure I'm experiencing less fatigue in my hands and forearms. The lockout is a simple but excellent feature that I use daily on my ride into town. The bike has received upgrades in other areas as well, so it's hard to isolate the performance upgrades to just the coil shock alone. However, the main improvement in this new setup has been a sense of increased traction in almost every situation. So the biggest takeaway? Well, I was going to buy a full downhill bike for this trip, but after the upgrades to my aging Summit, I am more than content with this thing on pretty much any trail. No, I probably won't be as fast as my mates on their downhill bikes when the going gets properly steep, and I might need to think twice before attempting some of Chattel's double black features, but that's fine with me. This bike has been a pleasure to ride over the past month, and the Fox DHX has a big part to play in me still being in one piece. Another 2 months to go, so what upgrade do you think should come next? If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe on the way out, and look out for more episodes of the EMTB podcast coming very soon.